What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Hey, what's going on, folks? And I hope all is doing well. I have an interesting topic here today that I have been receiving from some people asking some questions about this rush to getting a citizenship. And what is the benefits and how does it play a part in the current citizenships that they have at the countries that they may live in? Well, typically I tell people you got to go read for yourself, you got to do the research, and you got to find out what is going on with these countries who are opening doors up for your citizenship. Now, then before I get into right here, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all who are coming in. As I look upon the chat room, that I see those familiar names that might be coming through. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you brothers and sisters out there. Yes, I am back here in damn Erica. Put the D in front of America, capitalize the E. Damn Erica. You know, somebody just sent me a message, one of my old associates, and said, man, my daughter, she watches your show and she doesn't like when you say damn Erica because her name is Erica. But you know what? The name is what his name is. Don't take offense if your name is Erica. That is no harm towards you. It's towards a country of the bad that it does. But we're going to talk about this African citizenship. You know, this big old thing here of going to Africa, taking DNA tests, finding your tribes and finding the countries that you're part of is turning out to be, to me, a little bit of, let's say, scamming might be going on. A little bit of games might be being played here. And I'm smelling it a little bit more. And I'm getting some people's emails and concerns about what they should do. Is it legit and all that right there? Well, let me just say this right here, because there are going to be some people get pissed off at me. But my intent is not to piss nobody off. This is my channel. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak my truth. So it is what it is. First and foremost, okay, brothers and sisters, let me say this right here. It don't take a piece of paper for you to be African. If you ain't realized this is the answer to all, it don't take that much. And also, if one would understand that Africa was divided by the Europeans, it was called the Scramble for Africa, that the European countries decided they would divide it up. Each one would take their piece and colonize it and create the borders that we see today. Now, the sad part of it is that we in ignorance have fallen to believe that we are Ghanaians and Sierra Leoneans and Kenyans and, Tanzanians and South Africans, instead of realizing we're freaking families that are all part of the continent and should be one, but we're fighting and acting like fools, killing each other too in some areas when we think we are better and special than somebody else. This is the disheartening thing that I can't stand to see nor hear. But I know that my brothers and sisters that are in the diaspora, because of this catch of Africa in the last 3-4 years, especially when Wakanda came out, everybody started talking about Africa. And then some of these African countries took note of it and realized that, we can make things like Ghana did the year of return, made over $1 billion in money by the people who flooded into the country and did well, I guess. People made, small business people, whether it's the hotels, the people on the streets and the people who make souvenirs, and everybody was reaping. And that's a good thing. But we also see that since then, we also have other countries too as well who have opened up doors and want to go ahead and lay out citizenship for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, like Sierra Leone here recently. Through the African Ancestry, they have, decided they're going to go ahead and give citizenships to those who have, through their DNA test, are part of one of the 12 tribes, I think it is, that you can get a citizenship. As long as that piece of paper and DNA say that you are. Now, I got a little problem with that, though, family, because you know what? Migration is a type of thing that we did. We migrated all around. Like the Berlin Conference, right? Or excuse me, not the Berlin Conference, but the Berlin Wall. You remember old daggone Reagan said, Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Well, you know, there were people who had families on one side, the west of the wall, and those who had families that were on the east of the wall. When all of that happened and they divided and created a wall, you have family members on both sides that got stuck on either side, depending on when the conflict went out and all that there. Isn't that what happened when the daggone Europeans came? For we were migrating people were going all around the continent, trading their goods and going across lands to go ahead and either they were had stores or setting up little shops or whatever, or just going ahead and doing trading like we've always did, but got caught up in the mix. And somehow we got stamped by the daggone colonizer and saying that now you are become a citizen of this country because we are colonizers and over and control over you now, and this is what you take. And we fell for the bait. For we take more pride in calling ourselves from the continent, or the country rather, than what we're part of, than us looking at each other like we brothers and sisters. But now here's the rush to judgment now that I got to get my citizenship, my residency, in order to feel like I'm African, be part of, have a stake in the ground, to be able to feel like I have achieved something. Now, to each his own, and I'm not here to tell you where you should stand or how you should be. That is your business. I am here having this talk because of the fact that there are people out here who writing these questions to me and inquiring about the validity of the citizenships. Now, if you watch some of my videos, and I'm about to go ahead and put up one video here probably tomorrow of a brother that has been my brother in Ghana of here for the last 5 years, who's been living in Africa since 1984, I think it is. And he has lived in Liberia first for the first 2 years. And then when they had their revolution, he went on over to Ghana and been there ever since. Got his citizenship here in the last, I think, 5 years or so, and doing well. And a citizenship can also benefit you in one aspect or another, but it also can be a con. A con not meaning that the game that the government is playing, but pro and cons into having dual citizenship. Now, I'm here to tell you right here, I've traveled around the globe. I haven't been to Asia yet. June next year, I will be in Asia to knock that off my list, but I've been practically everywhere else. And I'm going to tell you, you can say what you want about damn America, and I know I give damn America a hell of a time. But as of today, as I speak, it is the strongest passport that is out there. For those who don't travel and all that right there, you don't go through all the BS that most will go through, depending on the country you're from and how that particular country looks upon your country and the treatment that you will receive when you go through their customs, whether or not you will get a visa or not. Do you know how many people try to get visas here in America and are denied? You know how many people are trying to get that passport stamp citizen in America? Because it's recognized throughout the globe that you can almost freely travel through to almost any country except for North Korea. North Korea, if you have American passport, they will not let you come into that country. Other countries, they will. Interesting, isn't it? But let's get on down to the nitty-gritty, because the question of the matter is that should I get dual citizenship? Now, I think that's a personal choice, and I'm not one to give that to anybody. But I see the games that are starting to be played with this whole citizenship to our brothers and sisters who are trying to go to the motherland and acquire that citizenship or that passport. Now, for me, it doesn't matter to me. I am content in where I stand with having one citizenship. I am African and African all day. There is not a piece of paper that can validate that I'm not African. And though I have an American passport, I can use it for its benefit, though I don't consider myself to be American. For those who have taken our family members into slavery and to go ahead and stamp the seal of their approval that we are the so-called property of America, does not fit well with me without giving us the opportunity to say, do you want it or not? Now, some people look at it as a blessing to have such a passport, and people always said, I'll trade with you. Now, I already know the game, and this game ain't fair, which is called life. And my thing is, I will take whatever the best benefit I can out of this joker right here. And so for me, I'm content. But two countries people are basically focused on trying to get citizen. Well, I'm gonna say three because we know there's a third one, but Ghana, Sierra Leone have opened the doors up for you to get your citizenship. And there are also some so-called, some requirements that you must have in place in order to get citizenship. This ain't something that just comes easy. And I know that even there are other countries out there that will give you residency so you can chill in their country. You can be part of the country. If you go in there to want to do business, and you can get a residency depending upon the prerequisite of what they require and all without even having a citizenship. There are countries that will deny them or their citizens or those trying to get dual citizenship because that's just the way they do business. But, Ghana, for instance, did the year of return, saw that it was very profitable. And actually, Ghana has even recognized that if they even give citizenships to those who are coming in from the diaspora, it also brings a wealth of money into the country. So they see it as a pro and able to give one who is seeking a citizenship so you can bring them dollars over into the country because it will help out the so-called economy. Now, Sierra Leone jumped on board and they decided to go just a little bit step differently. And that is that through the DNA of the African ancestry, if you happen to show on the DNA that you are there or DNA is part of Sierra Leone area, which I totally disagree with, but you belong to one of the tribes there, that you too can be a citizen there in Sierra Leone. Like I said before, my problem that I have with that is that you're going to say that you are Mende, you're going to say that you are Fulani, you're going to say that you're this, but you had to be born in that spot of Sierra Leone. The DNA goes back way further than the daggone Berlin Conference of 1865. Or was it 1863? Can't remember the date, but don't hold me to it. But what I'm saying is, if you are accepting DNA and the DNA already proven, it goes back thousands of years, hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. Well, the borders were only created Sierra Leone when they were colonized in the 1800s. And there are people who are actually upset because they can't get a citizenship based upon that. Well, my thing is rest at ease. Because if you need a citizenship to feel like that you're part of Africa, well, maybe you need to rethink some things. Maybe you need to go ahead and think about what it is that is really most important. And that's just my take, family. Okay, thanks, Ju. You said 1884. I was close, 85. Okay, we're putting all this power into this. Get your citizenship. Get your citizenship now. Like I said in the beginning of this, I'm smelling a little bit behavior of money or a cash bag of trying to get from us who might be desperate and trying to get citizenships. But let me say this right here. Be vigilant. Be vigilant, because I'm telling you, sometimes you could be used just for the sake of your money. Just to have that passport. Now, let's talk about it though, because there are countries out here who are given the citizenships. Do you have much of a benefit from it? Now, I say here that you got to do your homework. That's the problem I find, that most people don't do their homework. Because what I don't like really is that sometimes they've created this bureaucracy, this red tape, that even if you're trying to get your citizenship, you got to go through somebody who got to go through somebody, got to go through somebody, and pay somebody who got to pay somebody to get to even get the citizenship. And once it's all said and done, how much did you pay to get your citizenship? And does it afford you anything of benefit? Now, to each his own, though. Because like Ghana, you have the right to have citizenship that might afford you to be able to purchase land, maybe, be able to have some of the rights that most of the citizens may have. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go down some of the things here when it comes to Ghana's citizenship, dual citizenship. Let me see if I can figure this out right here real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see this right here. Boy, I don't know how that looks. That don't look all that hot, but let me know, you all. Does that look okay? Because I'm seeing like crazy. Let me turn on my thing here and pull up the channel. Because yeah, we're gonna get into this right here. We're gonna get into whether or not okay, yeah, I don't like how that looks. So we're gonna split the screen here. Okay. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna go this different route right here. Hold up. I'm doing something. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. We're gonna get into this. Why is it doing that? Let's see here. Okay. Our beautiful brothers and sisters here, we're going to start over here in, I guess, Sierra Leone. And our beautiful brothers and sisters here, as you see, they are very proud, and I'm proud of them, that they were able to obtain a citizenship. They have been able to acquire a benefit that they believe that, hey, will suit them. And if you see here, because there are people who are kind of confused when it comes to citizenships, and I've heard several people talk about how you can obtain citizenship through Sierra Leone, and there's been some ambiguities when it comes to the explanation that I've heard when it comes to that. And some people have been writing me and asking me some questions about the citizenship, and I'm like, look, you got to do your homework, but I am willing to go ahead and delve into this a little bit. And I'm not going to go too far deep into it, but, Sierra Leone here, and you can see that this right here is an African Ancestry.com page of Sierra Leone, in what they are sharing, how you can obtain a citizenship. And in this, you see there's rules of engagement when you have to, when you are wanting to, okay, I done did something different. When you're wanting to engage into getting a citizenship. Now, hold 1 second. Let me flip on back through because I done lost my spot. Hold 1 second. All right. See, these are guidelines and documents required for African diaspora accession of passport citizenships from the government of Sierra Leone. Now, one interesting thing I want y'all to know, family, is that they have here that all applicants from African diaspora accessions of citizenship must go through a certified local tour operator in Sierra Leone. Okay, there we go. And you have to go through this. And there is a list of certified tour operators, which is published. And you can go to one of the following websites to acquire this list. Now, I went here and checked out, one of the list of this right here, if I can find out which one is which, and you're going to see you have recognized, registered, licensed tourism, handling, and tour operators agencies in Sierra Leone. Now, you will find people's name on here and their telephone numbers and emails and all that right there. You see Dinus Amir's name is on here. He's one of the operators. Fode is one of the operators that are on here. And the names list goes on and on. There's a few other names that I have recognized on here. But anyway, this is a list that one must go through, which I had to ask the question of why is it that they have it to where you have to go through these so-called certified local tour operators to be able to get your citizenship. And I'm quite sure there is a link for them to be able to collect these paperworks and make sure everything is in place to submit it to their governments, so that then that there is not this chaos of people individually doing it. But I had a couple people who were talking about the outlandish, if you will, not words that I'm using, but what they said, or an expensive cost to get these citizenships. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
All right, I'm on live right now.
Okay.
All right, I won't be too long. That was my lovely wife there who got home. So anyway, there are these prerequisites and things that you must submit to go through. So my thing was that you have to go through a certified local tour operator. And I was told, and I inquired that, you got to pay to do a tour with some of these people and to be able to get your citizenship. Now, what's the cost and all that right there? I don't know. And I ain't trying to rain on nobody's parade. If they're conducting their business and that's what they do, that's what they do. But here is something that that it mentions also that you have to keep in mind. On number 8, it says it is mandatory for all applicants to be in Sierra Leone at least 5 days before the slated date of citizenship conferment for fingerprinting, immigration interviews, and other administrative process. Applicants are also mandated to attend a day's heritage/civic education and business investment workshop. All applicants must pay 1 million leones or $100 as fees for the heritage civic education and business investment workshop. Tour operators are reminded to include this in their costs. So there are some costs associated when you got to get your citizenship. When some people were asking me about this, and I said, well, let me look into this right here. And really, I should have contacted my man, maybe Donna Samir. But I seen he probably's done some videos, and I don't want to be over into his place where he's doing his business and stuff. I'm doing my business by addressing some of these things because I've heard, a couple of complaints, and I've heard a lot of concerns about trying to get dual citizenships and stuff, which I have no interest in. But it seems like this is a snowball starting to take a roll, and people are really anxious and trying to get their citizenship. Now, so Sierra Leone has its so-called protocols in ensuring that you must follow these in order to get your citizenship. Now, they also further go into the government Sierra Leone's monuments and relics and commissions, what they have in place as far as their next conferment that they'll share, which was December 2021, and explains this all right there. So for you all who are interested in trying to get your citizenship, you can go to the website of the Sierra Leone's website and find out the information for the citizenship. Let's see here. We have, like I said, whether it's African ancestry, which you have to have that DNA showing that your DNA reigns in Sierra Leone, and that it mentions one of the 12 or I can't, don't hold me to that, 15 or whatever of the tribes that are there, that you will be afforded to possibly get your citizenship. Now, let's move over to Ghana, because, I know several handful of people who's gotten their hands into their citizenship when they decided that they want to have that dual citizenship in Ghana. So let me go ahead and let's get on what is Ghana saying, and we're going to get into, is it beneficial? Is it beneficial to what's up, O'Shea? What's up, brother? Is it beneficial for us? And what is the pros and the cons of it? Because people don't even realize that. Here it is with Ghana. Now, Ghana has their website here, right? It's the Ghana's consulate, excuse me, the Ghana's consulate newyork.org. This is from New York, but they kind of explain the dual citizenship application, and it kind of run down some things. But we're going to skip through some of that information. But we're going to talk about what are some pros and cons that they mention in having this dual citizenship. And they go through this information of, applications process and all that right there. But it says right here, holders of dual citizenship cannot hold certain specified offices in Ghana, including the following. So you know how it is that, you can't be a supreme judge or ambassador, secretary of the cabinet, chief of defense, and the list goes on. And it talks about the dual citizenship. Now it talks about the benefits. If dual citizenship policies is argued to create the following benefits. It provides the individual the right to obtain passport from either country of citizenship. It creates a simpler procedure for individuals revisiting former homelands for extended periods of time. It creates the opportunity to pursue employment opportunities in either country of nationality. It improves the rights to social benefits, to own land or property, and to inherit assets from either country. It creates the entitlement to convey nationality rights to offsprings. It caters for those who feel equal alliance to both countries of origin. Now, the disadvantages of it is dual citizenship exposes citizens with dual nationality to expectations that they should contribute, for example, through national service or taxations to their former countries. Dual nationality possibly complicates some domestic legal issues, such as custody disputes. That's if you're going to have children and all that right there. Dual nationality requires the impossible or unreasonable that people should owe allegiance to more than one country. Dual nationality is counter to the notion of national identity, loyalty, and cohesion. Cohesion. So, and in saying this, also this right here, I pulled up too. The slide is called slid.gov.Sierra Leone, or SL. You can find their policies on their citizenships and stuff like that. But back to Ghana at hand, Ghana has specified some of the things that they have in place that behooves you to. And I'm trying to find where was their website that I pulled up. Okay, I misplaced. Maybe I must have researched into something else and lost my spot. Anyway, let me back up on this one right here. So let me get back to you all. Okay, I'm not going to find it. It's one of these tabs that I kind of went forward in and then misplaced it and all that right there. But in saying that, it's incumbent upon you, family, because what I'm hearing, and with this rush to try to get citizenships and and all that there, does it benefit you? I'm gonna say, me as a traveler in Africa, if I had the ECOWAS passport, that is that, when you get a passport, it will allow you to travel and pay less costs when you travel from one country to another country. That's a huge benefit when it comes to getting visas for the countries that you're going to. You don't have to really go through a lot of headaches that I go through because I'm sitting on one. But so that's a huge benefit if you are a traveler in that. The other benefit of it is, like I said, is that, or what it said in the writings, is that, you're afforded certain things that as a citizen that I myself may not get. Now, as I've said before, I don't care to have a dual citizenship, but there are those out there who are very concerned and feel as though they got to have a piece of Africa and get their citizenships and all that right there, when it's like, okay, it's going to cost you a few $1,000s possibly. Depending on a country you're talking about and all that right there, what you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to get your plane ticket first and foremost to go. Sierra Leone said you got to be there at least 5 days in advance. Hotel expenses. You're going to have to pay the $100 this, that. You're going to have to pay for your tour representative, whatever they might be charging, what have you. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. That are you going to utilize such a piece of paper in order to reap the benefits of the cost that you are expending? Now, the other thing that people now, the cons behind some of this, when you're a citizen of a country now, you got to keep in mind, you got to follow the laws of that country. And being a citizen of that, you got to realize that, as they say, ignorance to not knowing the law is no excuse. Let me give you an example. If one of these African countries decided that their citizens are going to take the shot, if you're living in that country and you're a citizen, you have to obey by the law. Now, you can go ahead and utilize your other and go ahead and leave if you want. But what if you was driving down the street, a citizen, and you hit a cow and the law says you owe a certain amount of money for that cow and what its offspring would have been? You would owe that. So, I mean, there are some things that where it would not apply to me because I am a foreigner per se, that it will not catch me in a pickle if I happen to be in the country and there are some laws that apply to the citizens, but not to the foreigners, if you will. These are things that people got to think about and keep in mind. Because even then, like Ghana, you don't have to be a citizen to own a house, to buy land. Matter of fact, they got free land. They call it in Abasu. Was it Abasu? I always get that in Embassymble in Egypt mixed up. But that to any diaspora who wants to come and get land, they can purchase land or get the land for free there. Abasu, I don't know, why am I, that does not sound right to me. But anyway, pay your $700, $800, whatever it is currently right now to get it surveyed and all that right there. And people are building their land and all that. So, so what is your meanings or reasons for getting your citizenship? Like I said, it can benefit you one way, but not another. Now, I also read that, you cannot use interchangeably your passports. You got to use one or the other. So that means when you give up the one passport, if you're trying to use your passport for Africa starting out, that same passport you got to use going to the end. What does that mean? Okay, we already know America just dang on closed the door to eight countries in Africa that they can't even come to America because of the so-called new variant. Now, if you're using that passport or what have you, see now, if you're a U.S. citizen that was visiting there, you are allowed to come back to the U.S. They can't prohibit you not to come into the U.S. You got to come. As long as you get your COVID, you got to take your COVID test, but they can't prohibit you. But now that if you're utilizing your passport and you got rid of maybe your US, or you're starting off your trip and you using your so-called African country's passport, then you may be rejected in coming. And if you mess around and let your US passport expire and you're holding on to your so-called African passport, then there are a lot of countries out here are closed up to certain countries that might be in Africa. Now, you might have the right to go to the American Embassy and go ahead and renew. So you can do that for those who want to know. You can do that in renewing your passport. But I'm just saying, these are things that people don't think about. But what I'm saying, just like Liberia now, Liberia has a thing that's called the return of the diaspora. Everybody's hopping on board now because they see the money that Ghana made and they want to open these doors up and, it's going to bring that money up in here. Cleaning up the area and trying to beautify it because, they're coming. We got something we're going to have for them because they want that money. And some countries are going to want to open up and give you your citizenships and stuff so that you can come live, build, and all. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what you want to do. But to answer these questions that I keep getting in the emails is that, are these legit? Are they valid? People are charging money, what they saying, outrageous prices, to try to get your citizenship. Those who are Americans or other countries who have these businesses that are charging you to get your citizenships. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to be in that game. But my thing is, you got to do your homework and you got to weigh out the benefits, the pros and the cons. You got to weigh those out. Because my thing is that, I just did a consultation yesterday and, I shared with the person, they asked me this question right here. They said, is there anyone that I need to be aware of or leery of in prohibiting myself from getting scammed? And I said, yeah, some locals and some brothers and sisters coming from the West. Because there are people in these places who need money. There are people in these places who are going to charge you for the services, rightfully so. Look, I got services I charge people. So my thing is that, but you got to realize that when you get to these places, just take a step back, relax, and learn what is what. Because those who claim to be brothers and sisters are not necessarily trying to connect with you because you're that. They're trying to connect with you because they need the money. And I ain't saying that to rain on nobody's parade. I'm saying that we do have those out there. That's just a matter of fact. We can look at all the daggone YouTube videos that people claiming to being scammed by somebody. And I said I'm going to keep it real, and I've seen it. I've been scammed. I've been scammed, y'all. Before, one come from America living over in Ethiopia, got caught up like, yeah, the brother right here from this and that, little I know he had a trick card up his sleeve. And I'm pretty good at judging people, but when you see somebody that's from where you come from, you kind of get excited, like, yeah, let's hang, let's and shoot. They done pull the okie doke on you and setting you up with somebody or setting you into something that where you're going to be paying money. And it's like, wow, they got me. But lessons learned though. And this is my experience and I don't mind sharing it. Some people are zip lip when they get taken advantage of. That don't matter to me. I'm going to share so that nobody else get taken advantage of, So be leery though. Be leery. Yes. I mean, I would say, you'll ask the questions when it's coming to citizenships, residencies, because nobody got the patent on it. Nobody really got all the answers. There are those who, may have the business and the credentials, but price shop. I showed you the list for Sierra Leone, and then even you go to Ghana, you got a list of people who are doing citizenships for people. You get there and people are like, oh yeah, I do that, or somebody I do. Well, and they're going to charge you, and rightfully so, but you should know what the so-called common or the comparable dollar is to the price, of what it is going to cost for somebody to assist you in getting your citizenship or as well as your residency or any other business matters for that. This is something that we all need to be leery of as well. Okay. Let's see what y'all got to say out here into this right here. If y'all have any questions, right here, here's the time to ask the questions right here. I'm a transparent guy. So you know what? You can ask questions, you know, dealing with my travels and stuff like that. Much love to you too, Journeyman Black. What's going on with you? Yep. The scales tips in favor for dual citizenship. Whatever it is for you, you know, for me, I don't see it, you know. I mean, even though I could really reap from it, benefit from it, but that's not on my top priority. It's not for me. It's not on my top priority right now. You know, it's not. Now down the road, it might be, you know, because I'm looking at living in Africa, but I'm not going to be on the East. I'm not going to be on the West. I'm going to probably have a base on the West right now, but then East, I'm looking for a place on the East. Why did I leave Africa? You got to check my video out. I explained why I had to get out of Africa. I can say why I had to get out of Africa, but what was actually transpiring. Go check the video out. Go Black, you have the connections to get investors to plug in Africa. That's your next venture, my brother. Well, you know, my next business venture right here, and this is for y'all who want to listen, hear this right here. You know, for those who know, I bought 2 pieces of property over in Zanzibar on the island of there, Tanzania. And, you know, I'm going to do something different than Airbnbs. I'm going to do timeshares with my property. A person can buy a week and have it for a lifetime. You know how timeshares are. You can have a piece of that a week. So I'm going to be having a price on that. So that's my business is real estate. My business is real estate. So that's what I plan on doing. So, you know, for those who wants to have a place to get away, you know, just like timeshares, benefits and stuff like that, you know, you can use it if you want, give it as a gift to somebody. Down the road, if you decide you don't want to use it, you can turn around and sell it. You can, so it's some of those things. Do you African tiger? I don't know what does that mean right there? Okay, Go Black was in Dubai and still says, what did I say? I've never been to Asia. Well, I mean, you know, my Asia's over there where, you know, the Orient is, you know, the Orientals, if you will. But I'm not going to get all in the demographics of land mass or the lands and the positions of lands. I'm not going to get into all that right there. Let's see here. What is required to purchase property in the east of Africa? That's a question I can't answer. East of where? What country? What city? What town? Where? How much property? How big? How? Can't answer that. Do you know African tigers? Yes, I know African tigers. I hung out with African tigers there when I was in Nairobi. Also with African Traveler, and yeah, we chilled out and had a good time, you know, filming. As business and investors here in America, will dual citizen benefit me? I don't know what benefits you. If my family and I are not vaccinated, which country is most favorable? Egypt is high on our list and Barbados, but more African countries are preferred. I don't know which ones is more favorable. I don't know. That's a personal choice there again. You know, family, I try to get out trying to answer some personal questions for people because I'm a total different dude than most people. I have my own way I like to live and places I like to be, and yours might be totally different. What is required to no, that's not it. I read that already. Oh, appreciate that, Sun Temple. Do you have a Libyan's passport? No, I don't. I can't even get one. Even though I was born there, but no. My mom told me I could have gotten a dual citizenship year when I was born, but they never did it. But I think things have changed. Yeah. Let's see here. What other questions we got, family? Because, you know, yeah, the citizenship, many people are all into it. Want to go to Africa. Got to get to Africa. My DNA, this and that, you know, got to get the dual citizenship and all that. And I got to get land. I got to build a house and all right there. And my thing is like, whoa, slow down. You know, there's no need to rush. I've seen people make big mistakes Just this year is making big mistakes. Stop being in a rush. Stop jumping on any business venture that somebody brings your way. You know, you better do homework. Ugh. If I'm serious, in this year, if I had to count how much money that I know people have lost just from scams alone, I'm willing to bet about 50 something $1,000. The most for one individual was 20,000. Slow your roll, young, but yeah, it's my this year. How do we determine DNA? Well, hey, how they're doing it today is through your blood. Yes, after doing my research, I will definitely take my time. You got to take your time. What's the rush? You're African. If you don't want to call yourself African or African, because we gonna make people get so political or get into these whole talks and it wasn't named Africa, it wasn't named this, it wasn't named. We know that. It's just a point of reference because where we know today, it's just a point of reference. That's all. Any way to avoid the test? No. Yeah, there is. There is. Yeah, stay at home. Stay at home. How's Liberia? Did you learn some history on Liberia? Yeah, I knew some history, Liberia. I will be bringing out my views on Liberia tomorrow because I just did Sierra Leone and I know, I had some things to say. And Liberia, I have some things to say about Liberia. Did I do the DNA thing? Yeah, I did do DNA. I took a couple different DNAs. All right, Abdul, I'm unapologetically African. Yeah. Hot daggone. Maximilian's in the house. What's up, brother? We know how you feel, Maximilian. You ain't gonna beg for nobody else's citizenship. I'm with you on that. Uh, have you done African Ancestry? Yeah, I did African Ancestry. Uh, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is to each his own, fam. It's up to you whether or not you want to do the DNA. It's up to you whether or not, some people are happy, like, look, I know where I'm looking at me. Some people want to know. I was interested and wanted to know what are they gonna come up with. Thank you, Context Matters, for your heart of giving. Appreciate that. You say, family, check Algo Black Guides to International Travel. Informative. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And it's right. Check out, for those that's called an international pre-travel. Some people are confused on that. They thought I was gonna be supplying all the contacts and information for the countries I've been to. No, it's called a international pre-travel guide. That's before you go. Things that you need to know, things you need to take, things that you but in the guide there, it's a wealth of knowledge and stuff that I know you would not think about if you haven't traveled much. Guarantee you. Yeah, check it out. $40. I mean, it's well worth it because I guarantee you would wish you spent $40 and wind up spending way more than that when you get to a country and realize I could have got that back in America for twice as less than what they're asking. Any ways to avoid the test? No, the only way to avoid the test is stay home. That's the only way to avoid the test. It's everywhere and they're requiring it. And it is a money grab. They are charging out the yin yang, some of these places. Ridiculous. And Ghana, I'm still upset with Ghana charging $150. But if you had your citizenship, it will only cost you $50. There's a benefit. That's $100 in savings if you want to travel around and you got your passport from Ghana. I got to pay $150 for that COVID test. Those who got the passport or citizens pay $50. That is a huge benefit. So yeah, that's one benefit. When should honor the connection to Africa with integrity? I don't understand what you're saying. Keep on going here. Where did the DNA say you were from? The DNA said that and I hate to use from because I don't like the borders, but the region of where Cameroon is, okay? And I'm part of the Bamaleke tribe. And I believe that to be too, because when I meet people who know about the Bamaleke and they describe them, or I've met people who are and they say how they are, that's totally me and my family. I had a woman, when I flew back here, I was in Brussels. A woman sat right next to me and we just started talking. And, I told her, I said, yeah. She asked me where I was from. I said, Cameroon. She said, Cameroon? I'm from Cameroon. And she said, look, she showed me her passport. She was headed here to the US. And I said, oh, yeah. I said, I did the DNA and they said, that my DNA is from the tribe for the Bamaleke. And she said, I'm from the Bamaleke. And when I looked at this woman at first, I'm telling y'all, this woman had all features of my mom. I'm like, that's totally my mom's side of the family. How her body structure was, her nose, her eyes, the complexion. I was like, that's totally, man, like both. And here's the ironic thing, my mom and dad's side are from there. So when you come to Tanzania, it's going to be hopefully, we're going to see how this whole thing unfolds in January. Anyway, to avoid, who keeps asking that question? Any way to avoid the test? I already said stay home. Yeah, well, some people say, hey, you think the Ancestry test is a scam? I mean, to each his own. I noticed right here, I found out some new family members and the doors was opened up and come to find out it was true. Sometimes the DNAs can be dangerous. You have people pop up and you find out that your family member never disclosed things about what was going on with them. And then you find out once this whole thing and that it's real, it's true. Wow. DNA, hey, is real to me. COVID test going back to America costs only $49. Yeah, I said $50. Yep. Let's see. I go black. How would you say Sierra Leone and Liberia are different to Ghana? Ghana's a whole lot larger when it comes to Accra. I'm gonna say that. It's a very good question. I mean, there's many ways they're different, but I'm gonna do a video on East and West of Africa, and I'm gonna get a lot of heat for what I'm gonna say, but there's some similarities and there's some differences. There's some similarities and differences. I'll keep it like that. Let's see here. Why can't we find Africa right here where we at? You can. It's you. You are it. You are it. But the soil you stand on, based upon the system that is in place, may infringe things upon you that you don't go for. It may be contrary to your beliefs, your moral beliefs, your ethics, or whatever. So sometimes the soil, even there in Africa, there are some countries that is not conducive to me. But I believe that, when you step in those African countries, they speak to you and you'll feel like, man, I feel this connection, and you get connected with it. So yeah, you can find Africa within you or where you are, because you are. Is African ancestry a hoax? I don't think it's a hoax per se. They're doing DNA tests and all that right there, but Hey, your belief is your belief. I can't convince one another. If it's real to you, it's real to you. If it ain't, it ain't. I don't hinge on that as much either. I had the test done, but it's good to know. It was some good information, but I don't live or die by it. I don't put it up there to like where it's okay, it's the end to be all or it's everything in my life. Not for me. Some people do. Some people are wanting some type of connection and to each his own. But for me, I don't look at it that way. My thing is because uh, we have been migrating and intermingling with so many other tribes. And when you go back to history, you'll find that we are all related. So I really don't get caught into the tribes and what country, which was started in the 1864 or the Berlin Conference, the splitting up of the continent. So I don't get caught up in that really. Uh, okay, you're 99% Cameroon. Okay, which there again, Cameroon is a European name. It's a name that was, and it means shrimp. Cameroon. If you even know Spanish, you know what Cameroon is. It's a shrimp. I mean, these are names that are not even African for the most part, most of the countries. Um, okay, hey, 1, 2, 3, we get your point. All right, I've already been. Uh, Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. Hey, pre-travel guides are crucial. I mean, I think I did a pretty good job on a pre-travel guide. I'm be doing another guide for people that's like wants to travel and the countries I've been to, and give some pointers on when you approach into the country. Once you get into the country, then how is your approach? Then once you get off the airplane, even though I have that in my guide and all that right there, but there's some things I think when you're traveling anywhere, you're gonna get got right when you get out of the plane. Somebody else asking any way to get away from the test. There again, stay home. Which countries have more opportunities in construction, residential and commercial? 54 countries in Africa. I could not tell you which one has more opportunities in construction. I couldn't tell you that. You know, let's just say if you looked up and find out which countries are have the most development, that would be good. Good development, because Nigeria is having a problem with their construction buildings falling over, collapsing. Just recently, they just had uh, I don't know how many stories that building was, but they have problems with buildings collapsing. It's just the truth. Um, I haven't been to Eritrea yet, or Eritrea, how sorry, Eritrea, I call it. Yeah, everybody might have different pronunciation. How would I say Sierra Leone and Liberia are different in Ghana? Oh, I've already answered that. I think they're different in their own ways. My screen must be going. Um, I don't know. Am I look like I'm seeing the same questions? Yeah. Well, that's not true. There, Black Phoenix. You must not been to Africa. Imagine traveling to Africa just to see white people everywhere chilling. Well, they're not really everywhere. They are not really everywhere. You're gonna see them on their little resort areas, or the tourist areas. But for the most part, you don't see a lot. I'm sorry for those who are, I missed somebody who just, let me see here. I don't want to miss those who have done the super chats, what have you. What's up there? Just call me Brian. Um, Great content, my brother. Definitely compare West, East, and Botswana and state your truth. Peace. Yeah. I'm gonna state my truth, and I'm gonna let you know how I feel, about certain places and all that right there. Habari to you too. Have I ever been robbed before? Yes. Been robbed before. By gunpoint? No. I guess it depends on what rob you mean. I guess there's, to me, is different ways of getting robbed. Scamming is being robbed. $1,000 a month. You can live in most African countries. Yeah. As long as you ain't trying to live like the Western country you're coming from, Europe, UK, Canada, America. If you're trying to live like you live, depending on you, some people live different. It's higher, maybe middle class or higher or whatever. But for the most part, $1,000 a month, I'm going to say you are living very frugal, but you can do it. And that's if you stay local. You ain't going to the tourist areas. You're not trying to eat in the restaurants and cafes that they have for the tourists. That'll eat your money up quick. And that happens to a lot of people. What website you get your visa from? I'm going to tell you this right here. Be very careful of a lot of those websites that you got to get your visa from. I would go to travel.state.gov, and then you call it the country that you are trying to go to. That country will tell you, whether you can get a visa on arrival. You might have to send your visa into their embassy in the country that you're in. So you need to find that out. And my travel guide talks about that too. My travel guide shares that information. Lovely Africa says, yes, DNA is real. Let's see here. Habari Yako. Okay, here. Let's see. Somebody said even $500, depending on what country, depending on how you like to live. You could squeeze $500, but you'll be squeezing. We coming from the West, we have, I'm going to tell you what gets most people to raise that $500. Food. Why? Because we are so used to the different types of foods, and it gets real boring eating the same food every day when the selections are few. When you're in most of these African countries that I've been to, when you see the locals, when they cook typically 5 or 6 or something items that are the same. You can go from one place to another place to another place, and they'll be all on the same menu. But what gets us, because we get tired of the same food all the time, so then we venture out and we find ourselves going to the tourist areas where they might have an Italian restaurant, might have a Lebanese restaurant, might have pizza, might even have a KFC or a McDonald's, might have, and that's what raises that $500 up. Food is really what's probably the most expensive thing I have come to find that I spend out of my pocket. Especially you coming from the West and you used to eating out every day. And the food is going to be way more expensive in Africa than when you eat out here in America. And it is expensive in America to eat out. But when you get over there in the tourist areas, you're going to pay about the same price, really. You're going to pay about the same. Yep. Let's see here. Okay. See, somebody said right here. Look at this. What's that? Mamize. No wonder I like and appreciate you so much. You so much. Bamaleke are very hardworking, own most of the businesses in Cameroon. They are business savvy. I hear that all the time. And I'm like, yep. When I heard that, I was like, that's like totally me. totally some of my siblings and family members, we was just business, All righty. Asato Space, why are you upset? You're very, very upset. Asato Space, why are you upset? Brussels was cold. Yes, it was cold, and it's cold here. Let's see here. Any other questions here, fam? Let's see here. Please, let's see here. Okay. You love to see Sierra Leone and Liberia become one country. Hey, it would be great. It would be great. Okay, hey, 1, 2, 3. I forgot to put a disclaimer in here. This is an adult channel, so I don't allow 18 years and below on the channel. So, some call it trolling, but here on my channel, I don't have moderators because we moderate ourselves, and people know how to behave. Sending a message 1,000 times just ain't gonna get it, but you got your name called, so hey, you should be happy. Let's see here. Go Black. Why do you don't go to Francophone part of Africa? I'm from Ivory Coast, and it is nice out there. Oh, hold on a second. It is nice out there. Hold 1 second. I am going to go out there. I said I'm going to visit all 54 countries in my timing. Let me plug up my power here. 1 second here. All right, power source is hooked up. Yeah, I'm going to visit all the countries, fam. I'm going to visit all of them. Check out the videos that I put up too. And also check out my other channel there. I'm going to be, just in case, I got 3 more weeks, you all. I got to be a good little guy here because I'm on punishment. If I get another strike, I'm out of here. They're going to do away with my channel, so I would have to go over to Go Black to Africa Gold Nuggets. So, I got to be good and refrain from certain words and stuff like that. Let's see here. My bro, you're doing a wonderful job. I am African. Please tell us maybe at least the politicians will lend you an ear. Cameroon is one of those countries that will disappoint you. Keep it up, mate. Well, you know what? I mean, there's countries I've been disappointed with. Some of the government systems, I'm gonna do a video on New Guinea. Saw a video, it was very disturbing. It really bothers me that we could be so selfish and live high on the hog rich when you're a leader and everybody around you is poor. Just dirt poor, I love the story of Buddha. For those who didn't know, Buddha comes from the continent. It's just those who took on the image, the name, and decided to change it into their own. But Buddha had, for those who know the story of Buddha, please do yourself a favor and read on Buddha. Buddha was a child. This is the story of Buddha. And listen to this right here. Buddha was a child, lived in a palace, was very rich. He decided one day when the doors opened up to the palace, to the outside, as they were going out, he decided to look outside. And he was perplexed and he was distraught and he was hurt when he saw the people in poverty, starving, sick people on the street and all that. It rocked him to the core so much that he decided he would leave the palace and go on a journey and figure out, why is the world like that? How can I live so good at this high status, and the people around me are sick, hungry, down and out. How could this be? So he went on a journey. This is the story now. Whether it's true or not, I love the story. But he got to a place that he was sitting under a tree and made a vow that he would not move nor eat until he got his answer when he spoke into the bosom of the Almighty. How could this be? Well, he got an answer. And what was interesting enough, there were those passerbyers who would constantly see him, and they decided to sit at his feet and figure out what was going on with him. And he finally revealed to him some of these life lessons that he was hearing in his spirit. I wish that all African nations and all nations around the globe would have leaders who at least have a heart for people. Because this whole greediness, how much money do you really need? I mean, how much millions do you need to keep to yourself? Just take your 100 million. It'll last you a lifetime. That'll last you and your kids a lifetime. Now share the rest with everybody else. How can you keep billions of dollars to yourself? I don't get it. No, I do get it. It's just greed. It's evil. It's just, it is what it is. Anyway, let me get off that soapbox. More questions, family. I got 15 more minutes. Any other questions dealing with traveling, dealing with my ventures, dealing with whatever, let me know. I got surprised. I'll be leaving here in a few days, and I'll be in a country that you are going to be like, wow, daggone, he's over there. Yeah. So stay up with my videos because here in a few days, it won't be the continent. It's going to be another continent. It's going to be another continent. Yes, I'm planning on visiting DRC, still planning on. When I'm coming to Cape Town, Cape Town's on the list. I just haven't, I haven't made it there yet. How's your son doing in Tanzania? He's doing well. He had broke his phone, so I lost contact with him, but he wanted to get another one. But all is well. He says the business is doing well, so yeah, he's doing all right. He keeps telling me, I don't want to let you down. I don't want to, Nicole, I don't want to let you down, and he showed me the money he puts in, he said he wants to repay me, which I say he ain't have to repay me. We can just be business partners. But, he thinks it's great that he's got his own business. I'm like, go for it, dude. Go for it. And he's like, I'm going to pay you everything. I'm going to prove to you. I'm going to show you. Yeah, doing great. Thanks for asking. Cape Town, you mean Europe? Freedom said, you mean Europe? Yeah, that's maybe that's why I'm not in a rush to get down there, because I'm gonna tell y'all, as hard as I am as a man, there's one thing that makes me soft, and that is when I see people being taken advantage of. And there's this rage then that builds in me that it just makes me like, and I've always been that person that always try to defend people, try to help people, not all the time. I can't say that all the time, because I used to be a selfish guy when I was younger, but I go for people's defenses, and sometimes I gotta be careful, because sometimes when you try to defend people, you get taken advantage of, and then the person you're trying to defend and turn their back on you. So, but anyway, yeah, so it is what it is. Cape Town, it's got some Europeans there. What's some of my favorite African countries? I don't have favorites. But I will say that, though, there are those that I find more interesting, more conducive to maybe what I like. But I wouldn't say favorites, though. Now you're going to ask me, the next question will be, what countries are they? It's too many to name. Okay, CO, all right. You found out 91% West African and broke down your tribe. Okay. Sierra Leone, well, okay. where they live to stay in such squalid conditions. You know, I contribute that to let me say this right here. You know, sometimes if you don't know who you are and you just go through life and thinking you're mediocre and you think that you're just here just existing and you know and you know you're just in this life struggle and you just let the days pass by. Sometimes you overlook some things that really are, you know, part of you. You know, this earth is us. We got to live on it. This earth, you know, is we're connected to it. I mean, you know, we were born in it and we're going to die in it. And so it's sometimes, you know, people don't have that. And if you don't have leadership sometimes to wake that up and say, hey, we are prideful people, we are excellent people, we are people who are about our business, and we're going to stand and rise, and we're going to show the world that there is none like this area here on this continent like what we're doing. If you don't have that pride leadership, I'm telling you, it's like, you know, the people get down and out and depressed. They feel very low, they're spiritual weak. And I can understand. I've been there. You're looking at a man who wanted to take his life, had lost the value of life. That's how it happens. Oh, you want to know what region? I mean, what region? I mean, I'm more privy. Okay. I'm more privy to the West thus far. Thus far. What is my views on Liberia as a nation striving for 15 years of civil wars? I don't have any comment on the civil wars, not at all. But I will share a point on that in my video that I'll do tomorrow on Liberia, based upon what an individual shared with me. So, yeah. President of Ghana passed the bill of diasporas to have residency and businesses. I'm excited. I have a land in Takoradi Beach from front. Beautiful. Damn, Erica got to go. Hey, go for it. That's what I'm talking about. Go for it. Who could argue against that? President Nana Addo says, you know, hey, as long as you're black, you're African. I look like a dark-skinned Russian. Okay. Yes, I plan on visiting DRC. When I go to Nigeria, can I investigate ritual killings, cults? And I ain't gonna investigate none of that. I'm gonna let that be where it be. It exists where it exists, and you know, hey, it is what it is. And if those wants to fall into that, let them be. All right, Maximilian, you bought your 160 acres of land. Okay, hey man, start your. That's what I'm saying. Start your own country. Oh, no citizenship needed. The Black Ponderosa. You know, hey, that's what I say. Yeah, appreciate it, family. Oh, okay. You're from Morocco Lion Entity. Okay. Yeah, we were supposed to be there. Y'all locked up all of the y'all locked up y'all canceled all flights coming into Morocco. I should be in Morocco. I should have been in Morocco right now with my wife, but you know, um contacts matters. Let me put your thing up here. Appreciate you. Um Oh, hold up. Hands with Golden Dove. Thank you for your heart of giving. The diaspora is more powerful than we realize. Much respect to you, big brother. Go black to Africa. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. Of course, thank you there. Just call me Brian. I appreciate you too as well for your heart of giving. Let's see what else we got. This questions we got here. You say you're a follower. I'd love to meet you in Rabat, the capital of Morocco. If you ever pass by here, send me an email because you know what? My wife was disappointed because she laid out everything, and Rabat was one of those. We were gonna go to Tangier. Is it Tangier? Rabat, Casablanca, uh, uh, Makarasha or something like Makarati or something. I can't remember. There's a lot of places we were going to be running through. But yeah, Morocco canceled 2 flights of mine trying to get there. And then I tried to get to Tanzania from Liberia, and I couldn't even get there because my test would expire. And so it was like, where do I go? And then countries were closing up because of that new variant. So I was like, well, let me re-engage and let me go ahead and get back over to damn Erica, and then go ahead and reassess the situation and see how can we go about this biz. Can I post the link to the guide? The guide will be sent to you PDF, and I will send that when you send us $40 for the guide, and then I send you a link through email. So email me at goblacktoafrica@gmail.com. Goblacktoafrica@gmail.com. And then I'll give you the instructions on sending the money to Cash App or PayPal, and then you'll get the PDF. Yes, I plan on going to Gabon. I do. One Love says moving to a small country. Lenny says plan on moving to South Africa, Cape Town. I'm gonna tell you, South Africa, it's huge anyway. Whether you're talking about Johannesburg, Cape Town, and it's got 2 other countries within South Africa, if you would call that within that area of what we know of South Africa. But they say it's a huge population of African Americans that are there who's doing big business. That's what I heard, and in some videos that I saw. But yeah, hey. You still can travel without the jab. You can. You got to have the COVID test done. But I will say this right here: if you don't have it, there are some different requirements of you, depending on what country you are and where you're trying to go to. Whether your COVID test has to be 24 hours before departure, or 48 or 72 hours. It's all different depending on countries. Yep, plan on visiting the DRC. Let's see here. I have 7 more minutes, family. So if you got your questions, go ahead and put them in there with a question mark on the end, so it's easy for me to pull them out. You want African citizenship? Go for it. WM West Coast 1980. It's there for you. Ghana's giving them away. Sierra Leone, as long as you got the DNA tied to that country. Let's see. How long can I survive on 50K in Africa, give or take, living a basic life? I don't know your basic life. I don't know where you'll be living. I don't know none of that. Basic life. I don't know what basic life is. $50,000. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. But I would say this right here, just to give you an answer. Just keep this in mind right here. All right. You got living expenses, you got food, you got, if you got transportation and catching taxis and all that right there, you got to keep all that in mind. You probably want entertainment. You want all that right there. You probably looks of your picture. Let me put you up. Maybe it's a bigger picture. You probably live a certain standard. So that 50K might. Look, let me give you an example. I spent over 40 G's in 10 months. But I did some traveling, hotel, and some flights. But money go fast, and when you really look at it, I say look at, if you're coming from the West, bank on anywhere from, spending $1,200 to $2,000 a month. So that's 24,000 a year, 50,000. You might as well say 2 years. Because I don't believe, sister, you're gonna be living in no huts. You gonna live in no mud huts, and you ain't gonna be living in no metal containers or the small little boxes that some of the poor people we would say, brother and sister, happen to have to live in. But even if you're staying in places that that might be $300-400 a month, you could probably find a decent place in certain countries. Definitely Tanzania, even in Ghana, you could for $400 a month, $400-500 a month. You know, but then I said, food is gonna get people. Food's gonna get people. Taxis gonna get people. You want entertainment that hang out and stuff like that. That right there, y'all can consider 50,000, 3 years. That's what I'm gonna say. Well, I mean, AT Shields, you say they don't see us as them. Why should I help you when you don't recognize me? Hey, that's your feelings and all right there. Have you been to Africa? Please answer that, T Shells. How's the two homes you bought in the business? They will be. One is being built, breaking the ground. Not breaking the ground. They broke ground because it's 6 buildings they're building, but that's being constructed. And the other one, through my contract, they won't start until March, but they got to be done by October next year. Thank you very much. We will. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. Nice to see you. Let's see, in good spirit, my brother. Yeah. Especially I'm in the winter up here when I should be sweating bullets. I heard, Go Black, you got robbed in Gambia. No, I never got robbed in Gambia. Somebody want to talk and just put that out there. I returned from 2 weeks to Sierra Leone on the November 1st. I totally agree with your analysis. Okay, yeah. Which African country would you move tour family to? Would you move your family to? There's several countries I would move my family to. I mean, but at this moment in time, I'm not trying to move just anywhere right yet. When you was in Ethiopia, what was the infrastructure like? Hey, Addis Ababa was on point. That's a large city, it's a large city. I mean, it had the roads, everything there that I saw. It had as good, as bad, as indifferent, but it's flourishing. Put it that way. New developments, high rises, and traffic, and beautiful areas, and parks, and it's got it going on. Yeah. Which DNA kit do I prefer? I don't prefer any. I did African Ancestry, and I did 23andMe, I think it was. And I did the 23andMe, trying to compare. Do you have to still pay U.S. taxes? I do, yeah. Do they need auto mechanics and aircraft mechanics back home? I'm not sure what you're referring to back home. At this time, I only trust Westerners and Japanese buildings. Hey, that's your preference. Yep, still planning to go to the DRC. A lot of people ask me about DRC. Yep. Let's see any other questions. I'm looking for question marks because I have 30 seconds. How does healthcare differ from country to country? Exactly. Healthcare differs from country to country. You answer your own. Which country in Africa has good roads to do a road trip? Well, I've been to what, 13, 14 countries. Um, I found the best roads is Namibia. Botswana has good roads. Um, 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 mm, I haven't those stood out to me. You know, Ethiopia has decent roads. Um, Tanzania has decent roads. I mean, I mean, Kenya has decent roads. It just depends on there's certain areas that you go into that they don't, but as a whole, like Namibia and all, and Botswana, yeah, yeah, they've got decent roads. Let's see. All right, family. Well, so family, I appreciate each and every one of you all for chiming in. I appreciate that. 461 people. I thank each and every one of you all. Watch my videos I got coming up here. I got a couple more, some interviews too with some folks that were there who lived there in Africa, been there for years, and some who's been there for a couple of years. I got a brother who's been there 30 something plus years. I'll be launching his video tomorrow. And so we'll be talking about some different things of the motherland. Um, and so we'll see. We'll see from that. But yes, if you're interested in getting your citizenship, do your homework. Look it up. Look at the countries. Be leery of those who may just be trying to just get your money. But if you have a really a dire need to want to have a touch of Africa, look in the mirror, and that will be your answer. With that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. Thank you for those who gave your kind words and blessings to me, those questions that were great, those who gave monetarily from your heart. I thank every last one of you all. Without you would be no Go Black to Africa. So I appreciate every one of you all. Good night. Peace out.